Hello, welcome to Love Drum in the Seat. This is Kat. I want to welcome my guests, Hitchy Doo and Joy. How y'all doing?
Hey,
Hello.
Season 7, Episode 8 of The Chi, uh, with Darnell and Damien going to the Gambling Anonymous, I guess that's what you would call it.
it's called rehab.
Rehab, okay. Going to rehab. Darnell and driving Damien to the rehab for his gambling addiction.
Addiction.
Yeah, and once they got there, he told Damien that he was going to go in with him. Or actually, Damien actually said, "You going in with me?" He said yes because I want to make sure that he goes. And so, and once they got in, he did go in, and Damien was sitting there flirting with somebody that was in there that's got some addiction, as like he does. I'm assuming. And when then they showed Darnell, and Darnell went into a partner's grief rehab, and he sat and listened, and he talked about. Well, he didn't say anything. He just pretty much listened, and this lady was talking, and then they kind of met up after the fact, and then they started talking, and she told him that he told her his partner wasn't dead, and she told him that there was one for grieving partners in the building. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, pick it up.
I the part of when Damien was in the whatever in the rehab part, whatever, when they talking about their what do they call that, counseling,
Yes.
and when the people was talking, he was laughing and I guess flirting with that girl, and then somehow they ended up in the bathroom getting a bet on. He's still gambling. You know what
Getting
I'm saying? He gambling with his life now.
She getting her bet on, because that's her addiction. At least that's what she said. That was her. That's the reason she was in there.
Well, it seemed like it was his addiction too, because he took a chance. You don't know what he could have got
You got that right.
or what he could have caught, because they
Yep.
didn't know each other. Went
Not at
straight to the
all.
bathroom.
Don't look like nobody had no protection to me, but hey, we didn't see it. We didn't see the start. We just saw the ending.
She might have had something. He gonna be like P Diddy.
And they ready to get my party.
Oh God. And then who was that? The Tasha. She's on there now. Well, she's her name not Tasha K, but she was Tasha K on what was it with Steve Harvey?
Yes.
Well,
On what
Yes. Yes.
what's that?
Talking about
Mr.
that.
Hightower. She is
yes.
Regina.
Talking about the
Ye-
principal.
What did I call her? Well, she was Tasha K on something else though. I can't remember what it
She was
was. The
Tasha on
game.
the game, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not Tasha K.
Huh?
It's not
I
Tasha
know
K.
that's
Hit
not
you
her
do.
name, but I'm just trying to
Oh, okay.
introduce, tell people
Okay.
that's who the new
Um,
person that entered the
okay.
show who Darnell was talking with, and he was in tears and stuff. Said he told her that his wife she's not dead, but she's dying, and I guess the lady must have thought he was trying to hit on her, didn't he? At first,
Yeah, that's what she thought. That's what she said. You ain't here to meet women on. He told her no. Because the way it was going, it made it seem that way, but that wasn't the case. We know that, but the lady didn't know that.
So evidently they're gonna go ahead and let you know Jada leave. And then that's crazy.
I don't
I,
know.
it might make it interesting. She
And
fight.
then when they on their way leaving, uh Darnell told Damien that Jada was dying. He was steady crying after they left the place. So
Yeah, and then Damien went and asked jail
Yeah.
for some money. Well, he really didn't ask her for it. He just told her, what did he say? That he was in trouble. Uh,
Hmm.
and she just kind of looked at him.
well, he borrowed money from everybody because the reason why he borrowed money because he gambled with Red. Wait a minute, is his name Reg? Yeah, Reg. And over a bet with how many stats Michael Jordan had. And he thought he had it, and he lost. And Reg said he wanted his $5,000 tomorrow night, by tomorrow night or whatever. He
Yeah, I think
Because
he
he
did say
asked for a
yeah.
week, and he said no, tomorrow night. So he ended up borrowing money from Dome. He got $1,000 from Dome. Then he ended up borrowing money from Barkari, and he got $1,000 from Barkari. But he told Barkari about Jada dying, which he wasn't supposed to have been telling nobody. But he couldn't keep his mouth shut. He might have used that to get the $1,000. This is just my thought. And then that's when he went to Jada, and Jada gave him $2,000.
You know what they said on that thing? They're gonna like she was literally putting her clothes, like getting her stuff and stacking it in a box when he asked for the money.
Yeah, and I do think he used that as a tool to play on her sympathy for, she feel like she's dying, so she's gonna do what she can. But she gave him 2,000, but he needed 3,000. So,
And
but
she told him not to tell Darnell.
he did what he did what he needed to do, and he didn't be no punk about it. He got 4,000. He didn't get the rest, and he trotted his little tail on over there, and like the man he's supposed to have been, and gave him the money, and he got the beat down.
Mm-hmm.
He got the beat
Hey,
down, and
hit you do.
Yes.
Ridge is kind of like them drug dealers, cause he knew he made that boy bet him.
Yeah,
He kind
it's
of made
kind
him
of
bet
like
him.
he
How them drug
persuaded
dealers used
him
to give them
he
almost.
people,
did.
Like,
He
yeah,
come
did.
they
on,
No,
you
he did.
scared,
like he wanted to or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
Well, Hannibal once again told him not to bet, and he did anyway. So
He
that's why
did anyway.
he got that beat down. But it
Mhm.
don't look like he got beat down that bad unless his ribs and stuff was hurting. Because all I seen was a bloody nose for real.
That's all I seen. And then he like kicked him, but I thought he was gonna get up out of there, dragging out of there. But he got up out of there with the quickness and got out of there. So he must not
I
been
thought he
hurt.
was stomping him. Wasn't he stomping him? Ridge
Yeah, he
crazy.
was kicking him. That's why I said maybe his ribs and stuff hurt. But
Um,
yeah, Red's crazy.
yeah, he is crazy. But talking about Tasha, they're talking about the therapist, the lady that was in the therapy group. Um, it's Regina from Steve Harvey show.
Uh-huh.
I just have her real name. Wendy, played by Wendy Rachel Robinson. Well, we already talked about that. We'll go to Papa and the pastor. Papa was talking to the pastor's daughter. I guess she went to go see Papa there at his house.
At
Uh,
his ex-wife's house.
whose house?
It's his ex-wife's house,
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
but he's
No,
still
no, no. I'm
paying
talking
for
about,
it.
I'm talking about when she first met up with Papa. She went to go see her father first. Did she go see Papa first? And then she went to see Papa. Yeah, I think she went to see. If I'm not mistaken, she went to see Papa first, and then she went to see her father. And then from there, they went to the dinner, you know, at the ex-wife's house. But that's another wife, ain't it?
That's his first wife by his daughter. That's his daughter's mama.
Okay, but the lady that he had the
That was the
ceremony.
second wife.
Okay, that's her. Okay. And I was looking at her. I said, "No, that don't look like the same lady." But yeah, they was. I'm gonna let you take that. Go ahead with the dinner.
They went to dinner, and I don't know what the grandmother name is on there.
We know us for uh, Felicia Richard.
Right. When they was introducing, when she introduced them to Papa, and everybody was basically like, "Yeah, we know you. Like, what's wrong with them? Is there something going on that you know?"
Mm-hmm.
You seen their attitude, the way they was, saying, "Yeah, we already know who he is."
Right. Yeah. Yeah. They were talking about his clothes and how he. No, who was talking about his clothes?
No, that was somebody else talking about how they had him dressed.
Okay. But okay, I'm waiting to get to that part, but I concur. But anyway,
They said they heard of big and tall, but they ain't heard of what big and short.
big and small. Yeah, but anyway, at the table they started talking about the pastor having an affair with that with the
Becky.
yeah with Becky, and and the mama, the grandmother was saying that about black how how black women feel when a white man chooses. I mean, a black man chooses a white woman. You know, his daughter was at Papa's house, and they were talking about he sold the church. Right. Yeah, he sold the church. She said, so I heard you sold your family's church. He said, yeah, but he let me keep the name, whatever name was on it that his father had on it, it's still in
Mm-hmm.
the family's name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what he told. What is her name?
I can't remember her name right now.
What is that name? Let me find it. Nuck and Officer Tucson, talking. She asked him to help her to bring down Red and she would help him so she can get her son out of prison. And he told her that he would think about it. And he got back to her. I think it was later on that day or that night, the next day, but did get back with her.
And he accepted. He gonna do it. They met at a, I guess it's somewhere far where he
Yeah,
won't be seen.
right. And then you got Trey. Then you got Victor and Tiff. He's preparing to go to a concert, and he's getting some money out of her cash drawer, wasn't he, and put an IOU in there. And she was just looking at him, smiling, like it was all in fun. And I guess she asked him where was he going, and he said he did name the guy's name that he was going to see. And I mean, I could tell he wanted to ask her, but he didn't know how. I guess that kiss kind of throw the vibe off,
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't know how to ask her, so she just pretty much invited herself, and he was so giddy about that. Yeah, he was happy about that there.
Yeah, they looked at all like a couple at the place because he was all behind her.
Yeah. I liked them together, and when they, after it was said and done, they came home. And of course, we was standing up there looking and listening as usual, and she was happy about what she had seen, So I think the relationship is evolving now, and
Greg went in with the kiss.
right,
That's what she seen. But she
hmm
she she probably happy about that because she don't want her messing around with Nuck.
right, exactly. And who does? Because he's an idiot. And it ain't that. It's just the fact that he killed her boyfriend, her baby's daddy. That's where I'm at with it. And
He's a
then,
killer.
shut up, Alicia. And then he was talking to Shed about him and Tip's relationship, and he told him, since they all close, boys, so these guys call each other. He need to talk to Emmett about the relationship. He's getting ready to venture in with Tip, and he did. He went to him and they talked about it. And Emmett acted as if he was okay with it. He was, but he wasn't. But he felt the pain afterwards. He let it known that it still bothers him. In other words.
They was getting a drink on, but Emmett had I guess a lot to drink. Yeah, he act like it do still bother him, but I don't see how, he hating. That's what I can say. He player hating.
Right, yeah, pretty much. Player hating because you can't have your cake and can't eat it too. You got Keisha over here, and then you still, I guess maybe if it was anybody else but him, because he didn't seem like he had a problem with Rob, but he seemed like he had a problem with Victor.
Well, he say he didn't, but just like when he found out she was pregnant, he was kind of jealous about that too. So,
Yeah, he was. Yes, he
but
was.
he can do it, but I guess she can't. I don't know.
Yeah, that's how men work. They go out here and cheat all day long, but you let the woman cheat, and they act like they so broke down, so hard, just kills them, But women have to seem like they have to accept it and move on, like it's okay. Okay, you do you, but I can't.
But
Okay,
what
at least
about Dome and Jamal? Dome and Jamal, when Jamal said he wanted babies, kids, and she said she don't want none.
yeah, and that she was talking with Keisha, and what Keisha, Tracy, and was talking about it at first, and Keisha was talking about the fact that, I guess her being pregnant, being tired, and taking care of all the children. And then that's when Dawn said she didn't want any kids. And then, like you said,
Jamal said he wanted some, and did she respond or say she didn't want no kids, or
she did respond. She said, I don't want any children. And she said, we didn't discuss that. She said, no, we didn't talk about that. And that's pretty much where they left it. It went silent with them. So that's pretty much what.
Elle talking to Jada about waiting. She said she need to tell Emmett about her dying, and he said she should wait. She was like a week, and he was like, "No, give it 3 weeks. Wait 3 weeks, because
Right.
he want her to fight. He was telling her to fight. He was like, God got the last answer, and she was like, wait, who told you that? Where you hear that from? She's like, I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting.
Yeah, yeah, and that be the sad part about stuff like that. People just be going through, and then they just get tired, with the medicines and stuff like that, So that is a lot. And then you got the professor talking to the head of the school. Who is she?
Well, what was she? She was. I forgot. I had said it yesterday,
But
but
anyway, they was talking about Bakari and his grades. In other words, he's not doing well, and the professor was saying, you got life situations going on, and he said that he would have a talk with him to to get him to do better, bolster him up a little bit, get back into it, writing this book.
mhm. Basically he messing up.
Yeah, he messing up,
He
but
he too involved with what Nut got going on, riding his tail
okay,
instead of focusing on him.
that's it. Instead of focusing on what he need to do, and then you got Emmett and Keisha. They're sitting on the couch, and she's talking about the same old, same old. She got to go get the children's baths and stuff like that. And told her he would do it. And he did. He did that, and they didn't show it, but then he started cleaning up the house and stuff like that. And then here come his brother walking in. But damn it, in other words, he sit down and relax and had him a drink. I guess Keisha had gone to bed, and then someone,
Another one.
uh,
I said another one, another drink.
another drink. Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah, and so Keisha, I don't know why I keep saying Keisha. There was a knock at the door. He kept saying, "What did he say? Come in, or who is it?"
Did he just open the door? I don't recall, but
Yeah, but anyway, he got up and he let him in, and when he asked, no, I think he came in because I looked like he was sitting on the couch when
oh,
Damien
he
came in, and then he jumped up and said, "What's wrong? Who
what
done?"
happened to you?
Go ahead, I'm gonna let you.
And he said, Reg did this. And then he called Keisha. Keisha came down the stairs, and he said he was finna go see Reg. And Keisha was like, don't go. And he was like, take care of my brother. I got to go handle this. And she was like, you been drinking. He was like, I got this. Take care of Damien. And he left
Yeah,
and went to Reg, knocking on the door. Reg kept saying, who is it? He ain't say nothing. He was silent. He kept knocking, and then Reg finally opened the door, and there's where it went. He was beating his tail. He was
yes, he
tearing
did.
his assets up.
Yes, he did, and I loved every minute of it. And I wish he didn't have that gun. He would have got his. He should have took a beating just like he gave his brother. Put the gun over there, because he was going welling on him.
He sure was. He
That's just
knocked him to the floor, and then Reg got his gun and shot him.
yeah. And stood there and looked at him. So um, that just goes to show that he is a coward. Cause why
Yeah,
didn't he
he a
fight?
coward.
Yeah, because you beat his brother up, and you can beat your little brother up, his little brother, but you can't beat fight a man. Okay.
Yep, he a coward. He always want to pull that gun out or have somebody else do his dirty work. That's really how he operates.
Yeah. So, so what you think? I know this ain't part of that story, but what you think? Who's gonna come in and do? Do you think Hannibal is there? He's gonna come in and call the ambulance, call the rescue. I'll take him to the hospital. I know he's not gonna call an
You
ambulance.
know what? That's what I was wondering. Or when it come on, is they just gonna he just gonna be at the hospital? I don't. I'm not sure how that's gonna play out. I'm wondering. Or
Yeah,
maybe Jake might come in and say,
right.
just and see it and call. I don't know how that's gonna play out.
I think Ridge could have got him. What's his name? Because he ran in there and pushed him down. He probably could have still got him, but he had pushed him down.
But it didn't
You
look
know,
like he
jump. He
was trying
pushed
to
him.
fight back though.
Hmm
He
No, he
was
was
trying to reach
scared.
for that gun. That's all he was trying to do. He
Oh, you
wasn't
talking
trying to
about?
fight back.
What you talking
hmm
about? Talking about?
Yeah, but I think if he hadn't rushed him and stuff, he probably would have, got he get a chance. That's all.
I don't think so, because Emmett was wild.
I think so. I think so.
And
Man,
I don't even think he
I
was
think
trying to
so.
even fight him back. This is what I see in my eyes.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Because
saying. That he
he
pushed
he
him
was
too.
just laying there. He was
Oh,
reaching
okay.
for that gun. He was reaching
Yeah,
for the gun. He wasn't trying to fight him back. He was trying to reach for that gun, and once he got it, he shot him. He
yeah,
wasn't
that's
trying to
why he
fight him
wasn't
back.
fighting back. That's what yeah.
He,
I feel
he a
like he was
punk.
That's because he had the upper hand. Because when he just bun rushed the door, he had the upper hand.
well, but he still could have fought him. He could have wrestled him. He could have grabbed him, but he didn't. He
He
was
was
too busy
hitting him when he jumped, and
behind his
he just pushed in
back.
the door and jumped on him.
He's a coward. Hey,
I think he a coward
I
too,
don't
because
know.
he didn't try to
I don't
wrestle
know.
with him
I don't
and
know.
get him
I don't
off
think
of him like some people will be
he
trying to
he
move.
he he act like he was trying to. He was like just trying to play with him. I guess he didn't realize he was getting serious. Then that's when he pulled out the gun.
he should have known he was serious when he came in there and said, "What you do to my brother?" That right there. Should have told him he was serious right
But
there.
Red still had a smile on his face, kind of like, what you doing? Man, hold up,
Because
But
because that's
yeah,
who he
all
is.
right. Well, that's my opinion. All right.
Yeah, that's what I said. My opinion. That's your
Okay, John.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, we just collaborating, but yeah, that's just yeah, I feel like he's a punk because why did he jump on his brother Jake all the time and then he jump on then he gonna jump on this little boy, but then you gonna pull out your gun. But if he hadn't been trying to pull out his gun like you said, he probably could have fought back, but he wasn't trying from what I saw.
He was trying to reach for his gun.
Yeah, because he's a coward, Joe. Joe, you
Okay,
like
it's
you like what's his name?
What you
Red.
say?
Oh, I
What you
said
say?
I say so you like red.
Well, I like the bad boys.
Okay,
I like the
okay. That's what I wanted. That's the answer I was looking for. But all right. But my thing is, I'm gonna say this: when Nuck finds out what this is my opinion. When I feel like when Nuck find out what Reg did to Emmett, shot him, but they're pretty close. I feel like he gonna. You think he'll retaliate? I think so.
no, he not cool with Emmett like that.
I know he's not cool with him like
But he
that.
killed the baby.
Right.
With him being
Yeah.
with his baby
Oh yeah,
mama.
yeah, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah, I don't know. He might
And,
think
and
that's
Ridge
one up
might get
on him.
taken out though, be too, because like with that policeman against him and Nook and what he did to Emmett. Everybody gonna be against him, so he might be up out of there. I don't know.
Okay, ladies.
Everybody
So
gonna be against him.
we
No,
got
I'm
this.
just saying how everybody against him, and Alicia too. He might
Yeah,
be up there out of there sooner than we think.
yeah. I hope so, cause I'm sick of it. I'm really sick of it. Him. I'd rather see Nuck and Alicia fight than him on there. He getting on my nerve. But it makes the storyline interesting. And then plus, when he told Emmett that Reg beat him up, he said, "Oh, I thought that nigga was dead." He said, I thought he was dead.
Yeah, that's what Emmett said. He
He
did
didn't
say
know. I
that.
thought everybody knew by now, but Emmett obviously didn't say, I thought he was dead. But okay, but he didn't. So, anything else, ladies, before we conclude my guess?
No.
How about you, Joe? Anything you want to add before?
The only thing I want to add is I was just talking about Jada and how she need to go ahead and fight, but she might not because Tasha's back in there. Tasha from the game is in there.
Okay.
You know.
All right. Well, we're
All
going
right.
to conclude. Thanks for
Mhm.
listening. Please subscribe, and I'm going to thank my guests, and I'll talk to y'all later.